The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
Get ready to dive into the comic book realm where heroes rise and villains take the helm. We're here to dissect the stories and the art. A source material, we tear the panels apart. Welcome to the source material show now. We don't hold back, we won't let you down. From Batman to Spider-Man, it's all fair game. We'll talk about the heroes, the villains, and everything in between. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Source Material Comics Podcast. That's right. We are live and direct from a planet.
Happy New Year!
Oh, yes. Happy New Year for sure. My goodness. Scared your son. Your son was back there trying to hang out and just.
He just laid an egg, man.
Happy New Year. Oh, my goodness. Mark Radulich, you've come back with a trilogy of books that we are going to be discussing. And I kind of noticed a little bit of the theme here of these three books. But I want you to tell our listeners what we are going to be talking about and if there was any rhyme or reason as to why.
Well, you and I talked last year about doing this. I told you I had bought the Cobra Commander book, and I was like, okay, if we don't review it, I'm not going to end up reading it. So this episode, tonight's episode, Cobra Commander, Darth Maul, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder, and Hell, is the beginning of our longest series yet. It is not all the same stuff. It is a year and a half long series of what's on Mark's shelf.
I see. Okay. All right.
So that's what we're doing. I wanted to do Cobra Commander, and then we're like, well, should we do G.I. Joe? And they're like, well, we had also done the Darth Vader series, and I talked about I'd always wanted to read the Cullen Bunn Darth Maul. And then you, because secretly you don't like me, had suggested Shredder and Hell. And I thought, well, what a great
I do remember going, hey, I want to read this.
Right. So we're like, okay, well, let's kick the year off with something light and fun, because we tend to deal with some really heady independent stuff on here. Like, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, three of the most prominent children's intellectual properties over the last 50 years. So I got the books. That's what we're here to talk about. Cobra Commander by Joshua Williams. I keep wanting to go Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but that's a Tears for Fears song. It's Determined to Rule the World. Then Darth Maul, no subheading. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Shredder and Hell.
They're not in this comic. Oh,
well, they kind of are.
Sort of are. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing I noticed was that, we got three properties here that, as a kid, I'm a big G.I. Joe fan. As a, also a kid, I'm a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. And I've always appreciated the Star Wars franchise. And this is Darth Maul we're talking. So we're going to, what kind of stories could they tell? Because that, to me, is one of the more... it's one of the more mysterious characters, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But let's start with Cobra Commander if you're ready.
You're leading this. You're leading the show, Daddy. I'm just following.
Okay, well we're going.
I thought my New Year's resolution would be stop cutting you off as much and let you host your own damn show.
Oh well, the year is early, so let's see how things go.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Yeah, just like you said, Cobra Commander, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Andrea Milana, and then colored by Annalisa Leone, lettered by Russ Wooten. This was 5 issues that released in 2024. So this is a pretty present comic here we're talking. And this is taking place in the Energon universe. Cobra Commander, always a dastardly G.I. Joe villain, of course, the G.I. Joe villain, if you will. So I was excited, but I'd heard about the Energon universe and kind of, what they were sort of doing here by doing a little bit of a reset. And this is published by, is this IDW? I did not. I think it is.
Yeah. Image. Image is Cobra Commander. Marvel is Darth Maul. And Shredder in Hell is IDW.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That was the Shredder, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, are IDW. I forgot that, yes, Image has these now with the Energon universe going on.
Basically, are they just redoing the Revolution bit where G.I. Joe, Rom the Space Knight, Mask, Transformers were all in the same universe, and they built this giant interconnected universe of comics? They're basically...
I don't think they're going that far.
Right now, it's just G.I. Joe and Transformers.
G.I. Joe and Transformers. I'm trying to think. Like I said, this is the first bit I've ever read in the Energon universe. I just remember hearing a lot about when it was initially conceived and released. And it seemed, like I said in our chat, it was kind of like shadow drop. Like, people didn't know what they were reading until all of a sudden it's there's a Transformer in this story. What the hell is going on here?
I had no idea. And honestly, when you asked me about, like, were you shocked to see Megatron? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm sure, like, we'll get into the comic momentarily, but I didn't even notice it said Energon Universe on the book.
Well, that's
how fucking observant I am. It was on the shelf in the bookstore. So when I go take my kids, and I try to take them once a month or so to the bookstore, we've kind of shied off of it the last little bit because of Christmas coming up. So it's like, about October, November, you just stop buying your kids anything because people have to buy your kids stuff, and there's less stuff to buy these days. So I stopped going to the bookstore as much. But when we go to the movies once a week, one of those trips to the movies, I usually take them to the bookstore, and I'll wander over to the comic book section, and specifically, I'm always looking at, like, the independent bookshelf. Because I'm like I've told you before, and you won't know it by the books we're going to review this year. Again, stuff on my shelf. But I'm a little bored with Marvel and DC proper, so I'm always looking at what are the independents. And I happen to see this Cobra Commander book, and I was like, you know what? Let me take a flyer on this. I think he's a fun character. I like G.I. Joe. I haven't read a lot of G.I. Joe in years. Like, the last time I read a G.I. Joe comic, besides anything for your show, was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and I read the G.I. Joe proper comics.
Right. Yeah. Larry
Hama. Yeah. So I just saw the Cobra Commander thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's a 5-issue limited series. They're doing a bunch of these. There's like one for Destro. I think there's one for Duke. I think they had done 4. And they were all kind of encapsulated in whatever trade you found them, and then that's it. They're part of a bigger universe, but you didn't have to read anything before or after to get the story. Which is what I want. I want isolated stories. So that's why I grabbed that Cobra Commander book. So when you're like, oh, it's part of the Energon universe, and I saw Megatron there, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. Also, I wasn't thinking about it. It was the most passive of passive thoughts.
Yeah, I just pulled up the wiki for Energon universe just to see. So it was June 2023 when it first started. Void Rivals was the name of the book that I was telling you, that where a Transformer showed up and just seemed like out of nowhere because nobody was expecting that. This is Robert Kirkman, by the way, who's who was writing
Transformers.
Right. So yeah. Now I looked it up also. So it's G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Mask. Mask is the other one. I don't know if you remember Mask, the Mask cartoon at all, or the toys. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
they had outfits, and they had helmets, and then they had vehicles, and all that shit was attached to each other. Like, somehow or other, your mask related to the vehicle that you were driving.
You got it. Skybound Entertainment.
So like if you had a pimp hat, you also had a Cadillac. That's how that works.
Yeah. And it transformed into something really cool. I don't know. It was two vehicles in one. I can't remember what the other one
giant
was.
hand to smack a hoe with.
Skybound Entertainment was the imprint of Image Comics that published or as part of the giving us the Energon universe here. So let me go ahead and we'll jump into our summary of what happens in this. Then I'll hit you with some questions here and my thoughts on the book itself. So 5-issue Cobra Commander miniseries follows the character's rise from a disgraced Cobra Law. Oh, I love it. Operative to the ruthless
Cobra.
Cobra Law operative to the ruthless architect of a new global threat. Cut loose from the ancient society that once controlled him, Cobra Commander pursues one objective above all else: securing Energon, the powerful alien resource reshaping the world. His search leads him into violent conflict with the Dreadnoks, who are holding a scientist captive to process raw Energon. Cobra Commander methodically wipes them out and, takes out at least, I don't know if he kills all of them, but he's definitely, making them less of a threat than they actually are, seizing both the Energon supply and the scientist's research, and even weaponizes an Energon crystal in combat, proving he now wields the power far beyond conventional means. That victory brings a final reckoning with his past when Nemesis Enforcer, his Cobra Law bodyguard, confronts him over his embrace of non-organic alien technology. Cobra Commander is formally excommunicated and marked as a traitor. Their clash ends with the commander killing the enforcer, supposedly. I assume he did. It looks like he blew a hole right through his chest, using supercharged alien weaponry, severing all ties to Cobra Law and redefining his vision of power. 6 months later, he has begun recruiting followers, established a hidden base in a quiet suburban town, and laid the groundwork for Cobra's rise. The trail of Energon also draws him into a tense rivalry with arms dealer Destro, while his growing influence pushes him toward an inevitable collision with Duke and G.I. Joe, setting the stage for the larger conflicts of the Energon universe. So, that is a 2-paragraph summary of what happens in Cobra Commander.
I was so hoping that the scientist that they had captured was going to be Dr. Mindbender.
I'm
like, when does he take his shirt off and wear a cape?
He's like, put a little monocle on.
Yeah, I was like, can we just talk about that for a second? How, like, I understand this was a child's toy. I was that child. I had a bunch of G.I. Joe growing up as a kid. And that, you had the Baroness who had a tight leather outfit with the boobies hanging out. And you had Major Blood, and Destro. And because this is the 80s, men are muscular, women are sexy as God intended. And so everybody has to be muscular. Some of them may have been wearing more clothing than others. Why they chose the scientist to be completely shirtless, I have no idea.
No clue.
he looked like a pro wrestler. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Dr. Mindbender should have been the champion of someone's, like, indie toy fed.
It was it was Frank Gotch era. Like, that's what he reminds me of. Like, the real classic wrestling. Baron Von Rossky or something. I don't know.
Walking to the ring with a cape, and leggings, and with his monocle, like you said, bald, rippling chest.
Yes.
I am Dr. Mindbender.
Dr. Mindbender.
What the fuck? Anyway, it was not Dr. Mindbender, and I was sorely disappointed. No stars for this comic.
Boo. I mean, overall, what were your thoughts here going into this thing? After we're done reading.
Of the three, this is my favorite one. Because it was a child's cartoon and it was written for children, even back, I'm talking like the first iteration of G.I. Joe, like when I was a kid in the early 80s. Cobra Commander was kind of written as a dunce and an incompetent, and he was kind of like, first of all, the same voice actor, Cobra Commander and Starscream, and kind of plays him the same way. Where it's like, where he's kind of propped up by Destro and the Baroness. There were like one or two other people that were relatively competent within Cobra. And then there was, Major Blood, who was a coward and ran away at the first sign of danger.
Major Blood.
And I don't remember how cowardly or how brave Zartan was, but Zartan was the leader of the Dreadnoughts.
Right.
But every cartoon, it was made to you were made to kind of laugh at Cobra Commander. That despite the fact that he led this, giant technological terrorist organization, he could not accomplish much of anything, and not because G.I. Joe was superior, but because he was an incompetent boob. And like Destro was always like seething, like just ready to over fucking throw him. Like, oh my god, if we could just get this moron out of the way. And if you'll remember when we reviewed the movie, G.I. Joe the movie, with that's what they introduced Pythona, Nemesis Enforcer, and Globulus, played by the incredible Burgess Meredith. Like even prior to that, when they brought in Serpentor, the whole thing was, you have been leading Cobra to a fucking fault. Like, you are terrible. We're tired of this. We have wasted blood and money on your endeavors, and they have all come up short. And it's not always because G.I. Joe is superior. It's sometimes because you're an idiot and you make bad decisions. And so we're going to take the genetics of these like great leaders. If you remember this,
we're about to create Serpentor, correct?
They took before cloning was an actual thing. They fucking took like Jurassic Park. They took the DNA of great leaders, and military strategists and whatnot, and they made Serpentor because they were like, fuck Cobra Commander. I say all that because this book doesn't portray him that way.
Exactly.
I loved the way they presented him here as kind of Superman's dad. He's what is Jor-El? He's kind of Jor-El. He's like, I reject our culture and our way of doing things as it limits our ability to master science. You have given me too many restrictions. There's this machine world that's out there and has this crazy energy resource. And if we had that energy resource, we'd be fucking unstoppable. Why wouldn't we make use of this?
Right.
Okay, so far I follow your logic, Cobra Commander. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And then he's in this like what amounts to essentially a theocracy. Like, no, we worship life.
It's all organic.
We worship organic things, and you want to fuck with this machine. This goes, and he's just like, I reject this entirely. Yep. And so him and Globulus are at loggerheads, and theocrats doing what theocrats do is like he just excommunicates them. He's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, he's secretly doing all this stuff, all these experiments, and and they find out about it, and they're like, okay, well, as soon as they find out about it, I'm dead. So he pretty much gets
they were gonna kill him, and then I think he was like, what if you give me a chance? What if I just leave, but I bring back Energon?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, you have like one chance at this. And they send Nemesis Enforcer with him. And like the rest of the book, he's not incompetent. He's not incompetent. He's a fucking stone cold killer. He is single-minded in his pursuit of Energon. He's written extremely well. And I know that they don't really get into Destro too much in this book. It's mostly focused on Cobra Commander and Nemesis Enforcer. Destro kind of comes in at the end. But I liked how the book ended. I liked, he basically seeks out an arms dealer and be like, hey, you have technology I need. I have energy you're going to need to run your technology. What if we join forces?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see, like, if I had the time and the energy to delve into this further, I would buy more of these Energon Universe books. I'm excited to see where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah, my notes, pretty much echo exactly what you're saying. We open this thing up. There's that truck stop scene where some guy, pretty much insults Cobra Commander, and then they find him dead. They don't show anything, but there's a lot of blood. So Cobra Commander did something to this dude outside the truck stop. I was hoping that bodyguard was going to end up being Nemesis Enforcer. One of my favorite characters to come out of the movie and probably G.I. Joe.
So I said Dr. Mindbender should have been like the champion of someone's like, toy league. What is it? You who said like Nemesis Enforcer was your champion?
Oh yeah. Oh man. He was the champion for the longest time. Like he was almost unbeatable.
Nemesis was buff and he was the stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome to see him show up. I love we're starting things out in Cobra Law and actually making an origin that sort of makes sense for Cobra Commander. Yeah. That really that really lent a lot to the story and made it feel like, okay, yes, this makes more sense.
That was the great thing about the cartoon movie that came out, because when G.I. Joe first started, it was an adaptation of something that I think had already existed. It was an adaptation of basically war toys. I think G.I. Joe was like a Barbie doll essentially. It was in fatigues, and they just kind of developed a lore about it where essentially at first they came up with a good enemy. It's a giant terrorist group with technologically superior weapons, and they are out for world domination. So they're not going to be able to handle this with just regular military alone. They have to create this like giant fighting force of experts in every field you can think of, like putting out fires. There was a fireman, and
there's a medic, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was one or two medics. Boy, the G.I. Joe specialties towards the end got a little silly.
Boy, did they ever.
I don't have the list in front of me, but there's like a list of like ridiculous G.I. Joe toys.
The Eco Warriors, I think, is what they were called, like, or they were fighting like pollution and stuff like that. That was that's when towards the end of that line where they stopped doing the 3 and I think the 3 1/4 or 3 3/4. I can't remember how tall they are, but those the figures that you're talking about. I've got, I remember the Astro Brigade, which is where they went to space, and all the figures were all like blocky. But yes, they
feel
were.
Like there
they
was
were
one that was like a chef.
there's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm sure if we Google it right now, like silly.
I mean, you got Shipwreck, who was your typical Navy guy. I didn't want to say
Shipwreck because Shipwreck is a classic Navy guy. Shipwreck, the character was silly. Shipwreck, yeah. Like,
wait, you listen. If you watched the TV show,
the initial run of G.I. Joe figures, it was like we have a Ranger, we have a Marine, we have an Army guy, we have this, we have this, we have this, and then it's like we have Shipwreck. He's from the Navy.
If you listen, like, to his dialogue from the cartoon, because I was watching the cartoon not too long ago, and he sounds just like. Oh my goodness. Who's the guy from The Shining? Help me out here. For some reason, Jack Nicholson. Like, he is doing a Jack Nicholson impression. Hey guys, I mean, you just listen to it and you're like, that dude is trying to do Jack Nicholson.
Do you remember the fucking Shipwreck fucking freak out episode?
What does he do?
Oh my god! So there, if I remember correctly, and I'd have to Google it. I'm almost 50. You have to forgive my shoddy memory. Yeah. I'm not some of these other guys in our friend group, who have like still remember their childhoods. Can't remember to come to a podcast on time, but boy, can they remember that. But there was an episode where like basically Shipwreck's like hallucinating the entire time.
Ooh, okay, that's starting to make me think. Stickle on something in my brain.
For like a children's cartoon, it was a really intense episode. And it's great. Like messing with his memories and everything. It's a bizarre episode. So the fact that of all the G.I. Joe things besides the movie, that's the one that stands out to me. Says it left an impact.
Do you remember?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you remember the Viper, the Vindo Viper?
No.
Okay, all right then. The whole. I actually saw somebody do a mock-up of a figure of the Viper. The whole episode is. The G.I. Joes get a phone call from somebody and they're like, I am the Viper and I will be at such and such and such and such. And they're like, oh my gosh. So they mobilize a team. They go there. Nobody shows up. They can't figure out what's going on. And then they get another phone call and another phone call. So they're trying to like stop this Cobra related Viper from doing something. And they run into this guy who's got a bucket and a squeegee and he's the Vindo Viper. He was going there to go wash some windows.
Wonderful.
What a great punchline. Anyway, he was. So I am the
art is fine. I have no qualms with the art. I like the characterization of Cobra Commander. I liked how Cobra Law was presented. That's what I was starting to get to. So when G.I. Joe and Cobra first started, it was a technological terrorist organization versus this like large army of military specialists. That was the whole setup of G.I. Joe. By the time the movie comes out and they had to kind of have to introduce new toys, they were like, well, why does Cobra Commander wear a mask? Well, because he's a mutant. That's why. Well, what if he was also like a mutant fucking alien of some kind? Okay, well, where does he come from? Now, again, children's cartoon, so it's a little on the nose. He comes from so the terrorist organization is called Cobra. He comes from a place called Cobra La.
Cobra La.
Yes, I don't understand why they just didn't go with Cobra Evil Lair, but Cobra Bad Guy Dome.
Yes.
Fucking Cobra Evil Doerville. But yeah, he came from Cobra La. Yeah. And then they had to, because they'd already fucking upped the ante with Serpentor, they were like, well, who's above Serpentor? And they had to come up with Globulus.
Globulus, right.
So, I was happy to see, like, as G.I. Joe has persisted for all of these decades, they've hung on to that bit. Because, I mean, they could have done anything, right?
Oh,
they
could
have completely thrown out the movie and just started from scratch. And Cobra Commander is, I don't know, from Iraq or some shit. Or he's from another alien with not so goofy a name. He's from Uranus or something. Instead, they were like, nope, this was set in a movie once upon a time, and the 40-year-old, 50-year-old men will remember it, and that'll give them a joyful feeling in their heart.
Yes, it will.
Fucking Cobra Law it is.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will, because that is my first note, is Cobra Law. I'll run down just my quick notes as I was reading this thing. Like I said, I put Megatron in all caps because Megatron had been captured and he apparently was armless or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's how Cobra Commander found out about Energon. And Megatron ends up escaping at some point. You don't see it in the comic, but regardless, when he shows up, it's like, holy crap, there's Megatron. So this is going to be, definitely steeped in some Transformers lore. Cobra Commander fighting the Gators. Like, I thought that was going to be a big thing. Like Cobra Commander versus Gators. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that barely happens. But when the Dreadnoughts have him and they're torturing him and they're trying to figure,
great use of the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah. Oh man. I think that like where they're going with this, which is like Cobra Law versus, I assume, what's going to end up being the Decepticons, or maybe just the Transformers in general. I don't know, but we're going to have some kind of like organic machine war of some sort, I would assume, because I think Cobra Law is planning on like taking this war to space, which, I love it. I'm here for it. I want to read how they're going to do this, because I think that this being my introduction to the Energon universe, I was absolutely thrilled. It's, it was a good book. I like, again, how they took the lore of stuff that I'm familiar with and wrote a good story with it. And I kind of want to check out the other ones that were happening at the same time. You mentioned Destro. There's a Duke book, I think, that's happening as well. And I'd like to read those too. I did like the part where, this is a world that did not have the lasers. The G.I. Joes in the cartoon always had the laser guns.
I've told you about my father, right? My autistic father.
Oh, I think I know this story.
Yeah, he would watch G.I. Joe with me, and he would never not comment on it. And it was always the same comment, like pro wrestling. If a guy jumped off Randy Savage, like doing an axe handle smash off the top rope or an elbow drop, if a guy jumped from that height, by God, and dropped his elbow on your sternum, he'd fucking kill you. What is this nonsense you're watching? Father, I'm 7. Heavens to Betsy, Father. I'm watching G.I. Joe. Father, look, you're in the military. I'm watching G.I. Joe. Are you proud of me, Father? Are you proud of your sonny boy? No,
not
you piece of shit. 5 million rounds of laser ammunition in every which direction, and nobody gets fucking hit? Get the fuck out of here. Father, It's fiction. It's for children. Father!
No,
They beat me
no.
with a
That's just nonsense.
He would put cigarette butts out of my arm and say,
Oh.
"Watch real shit," and then he made me watch The Bad Lieutenant. Mostly
boy.
the show you tits scene. No, wait, that's
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so anyway, yes, I noticed there was no lasers going in every which direction.
Right. And then the Energon is the actual reason, because I think when Destro shows up and it's Destro and Cobra Commander are going to do that meet, and this is after that 6-month break. He meets up with Destro, and one of his guys gets taken out with laser. Actually, I think Cobra Commander might take out his own guys. I can't remember, but regardless, he like shows like, hey, and Destro's like, was that laser technology? And so it's cool that they're using Energon to give the reason behind why there is laser weaponry in that universe. So I like it. I'm a fan. Either way, enjoyed the book as well. I had a good time. So anything else on Cobra Commander before we move on?
No, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but there was a guy who's been messaging us this entire time, sending me messages about Darth Maul, and I'm like, we're gonna get to it. So he may have gone to take a shower. So he's gonna come back. We're gonna be already on Shredder and Hell more than likely. But let's absolutely get to it so that he misses that segment.
Oh yes, he's going. Yeah, that'll comments, please. Darth Maul, written by Cullen Bunn, Luke Ross, and on art, and Nolan Woodard on colors. Our letterer Joe Caramanga as well here. So this come out in 2017, and
this is a post Disney purchase.
Yeah, this is a couple years after the Force Awakens.
The purchase by Lucasfilm was in 2015, if I remember correctly. And
we'll say that's when the film hit first, wasn't it? Like the Force Awakens hit in 2015, because we just celebrated the 10-year anniversary last year. I'm pretty sure
that's got to be right then. But I'm wondering if the purchase by Lucasfilm was maybe a little bit earlier than that.
It might.
Either way, when Lucasfilm got purchased by Disney, they relaunched all the comics.
Yeah. So Darth Maul, though, obviously not something that we're going to talk about in the new Star Wars. What is this going to be? 7, 8, 9.
Point of order, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
So Darth Maul was a prominent character
antagonist
in one of the cartoons. I want to say it was maybe Clone Wars.
I've got it written down here.
It's Rebels.
Yeah,
it's Rebels. Okay,
I think it's either Red. It might be Clone Wars, because I know that's where Cad Bane's going to be showing up. So anyway, go ahead.
So to be clear, it's why I don't have a great memory of this stuff. I never got through the entirety of Clone Wars. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, and I've seen the cartoon movie, but I've never watched the entirety of it. So I don't have the affection for it that a lot of Star Wars fans do. I watched maybe a half a season of Rebels, and I'm 99.9% sure Darth Maul showed up in Rebels. I know for a fact he shows up at the end of Solo, and they were building off of his appearance in one of those cartoons. So Darth Maul gets bifurcated in the Phantom Menace, and then when they bring him back, his bottom half is all like robot legs.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, before we talk about the comic here, your thoughts on Darth Maul, the character from the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. God bless Ray Park. I mean, look, I've already said a zillion times that George Lucas should have handed a treatment to a real writer, and a real writer should have written the Phantom Menace, because the prequel trilogy, because what Lucas was going for, I think, is an interesting idea, but Lucas can do like physical direction. He doesn't know how to work with actors, and I'm being much nicer about it than I normally am. And he's not a good storyteller. He's got excellent vision and imagination, but he's kind of like when a child tells you a story, and it's just and then and it's like it's all of these really imaginative things, but there's but all of this stuff needs scaffolding. It needs strict story structure. And I think in the hands of a different writer, where like essentially his pitch is, what if we had kind of a Christ-like figure, and instead, and like the story of Jesus is basically, he is born, he is raised, he's a carpenter. There's just like this giant piece of history that's missing, and he comes back and he's now a prophet, and then he dies for our sins. That's the Jesus story. So Lucas is like, what if Jesus made the wrong decision and was tempted by fate, right? The Last Temptation of Christ, the Scorsese movie, that kind of a thing. What if Jesus gave in the temptation and became like awful? That's the story he was going with Anakin. But at the same time, he wanted to tell the story about how government bureaucracy can sometimes get so big and unwieldy, it becomes hard to control.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what if you had sort of just given over governance to a religious institution, and that religious institution became corrupted?
Mm-hmm.
So here's all of these ideas that George Lucas has. They're all good ideas. Everything I just told you is really good. There's a lot of meat on the bone there to explore. In the hands of a good writer, the prequel trilogy would have been a lot better. You asked me, what did I think of Darth Maul? That's my point. In the hands of a good writer, I think this idea of the Emperor's apprentice being this kick-ass fucking soldier of God, like this guy, because that's what Ray Park was. That's why they got Ray Park and not an actor, because he wasn't going to have to do any real acting. They wanted him for his physicality.
Right.
In the hands of a better writer, there's more for Darth Maul to do besides lightsaber battles, which is all they wanted him for. Was to do gymnastic shit and wave around a sword. He looks cool, and I think that's why I wanted to read the book. I think there was potential for this character, because like when we read the Darth Vader thing, it was like, what is Darth Vader like outside of these movies when he's just doing work for the Emperor, and he's like really stoic, emotionless, cold, ruthless, and he's kind of and despite the fact that he kind of presents as a dope, he's actually like ahead of most people except for Dr. Aphra, who tricked him. So the question then becomes, what is Darth Maul like when he's not carrying out the Emperor's will? When he's not doing missions for the Emperor, what is he like? And I was interested in that idea. What is this guy who looks like the devil like when he's just off doing his own thing, and he has superpowers and a giant lightsaber dual stick thingy? So yeah. That was one of the reasons why, of all the ones that we've did, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, a couple of the other like post Disney books that we've read, why I was interested in doing this one.
Mm-hmm. I cannot remember, and you might. Does he speak at all in the Phantom Menace? Because I cannot remember him saying much. If
yes,
he did at
my
all.
master, no, my master. Grr.
Okay, all right.
Get back.
I knew
here,
it was very limited.
Get back here, you ninny. Wait for baby. That's like fucking Qui-Gon takes off. I'll get you, Gadget.
He's like every villain trope ever. We just know they got all cut.
I can't believe when they see him on Padme's planet, he turns around with the cat.
Sitting there petting it. He does all that. I don't know how did he do that? I don't know. I don't.
One too many ideas Lucas had. I'll tell you that much.
That's just, somebody finally said, "Lucas, look, man, we don't need all that going on.
Pick one villain, sir."
Yeah, as the kids say, Darth Maul has the aura. When his presence was on screen in the Phantom Menace, I mean, it gives us one of the greatest, like, I think, compositions by John Williams.
Was Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates. And that lightsaber battle is up there. It's great.
It's a very... I hate all of you. It is a very pretty coordinated dance number.
Well, sure. I mean, you could and a battle at the same time. You have to suspend your disbelief, Mark, that there are,
in my defense, the best lightsaber battle is Return of the Jedi between Luke and Darth Vader.
Darth Vader? Okay. All right.
It is the only one that has any passion to it. It is the only one where there's subtext. And everyone's like, oh, well, it's just kind of Luke going crazy at the end and just smashing Darth Vader with his fucking lightsaber like an animal. And I'm like, right, that's the point. The whole point of that scene is not to bang fucking, mop handles together. It was, Luke walked into the belly of the beast where the ultimate temptation was. And, after trying and trying and trying, they couldn't get Luke to bend. So like, well, fine, we'll just fucking fuck your sister. How does that sound? And then he went and lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And had to come and basically almost kills Vader and like had to come back from the brink. Like, that's what makes that lightsaber battle the best in the entirety of Star Wars. The rest of these are just dance routines.
Okay. All right. Well, regardless,
you disagree with me, and you.
Well, I mean, you are
but
much
you're
more
fine
passionate.
with disagreeing. That's my point. Like, fight back. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I watched. I got to watch the Star Wars films again. Yeah. This past year, 2025.
And your favorite one is Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah. It's definitely, I mean, I can remember going into the room, seeing Caleb watching The Phantom Menace, and I'm like, oh, I'm sticking around to watch this. Yeah. Watching Darth Maul on screen, and I know I wanted to see how he was going to react, and I wanted to see how Caleb was going to handle what was going on. To me, I feel like it's definitely pretty, but it was so intense, especially back in the day. In 99, when you're watching this thing on the big screen, you're not going to sit there and tell me you were going, oh, that's a pretty dance routine. No, what's happened is 25 years of critiquing other shit and having the internet tell you what it is has now soured you and made you, or has revealed to you some of the pedestal we put it on. How's that? That's probably I
actually don't disagree with you for the most part. It feels a little bit like you're saying I'm taking other people's opinions as my own, which I
think it influenced you. I think back in 99 you didn't feel this way.
No one think I have my own thoughts.
In 99, did you think that?
In 99, I was enraptured by the pretty dance routine. Yes.
You were happy that Star Wars was back on the screen.
Yes, I was.
That's the truth, because I remember I was too. And then I took my stepdad to go watch it, and man.
Okay. In my defense, Your Honor, my second favorite lightsaber battle in the entirety of Star Wars is Revenge of the Sith in the lava.
Okay. There's a lot of emotion there too. A lot of emotion.
There's a lot of emotion. That has look. If you're like, I don't like the Return of the Jedi scene, it's not really a sword fight. It's a Shakespearean tragedy with mop handles. I would buy that argument. Revenge of the Sith kind of has an even showing of both. It is all of it is everything that Duel of the Fates is with everything Return of the Jedi is.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Well,
and then the ridiculous ending is what fucking kills it. I have the high ground. Fuck your high ground.
No,
I don't my arms and legs, and then kick me into the fire. You're the chosen one. Get me out of the fire.
I'm on fire. No,
you were the chosen one. I'm currently burning. I wish I could save you. You can.
I'm literally like 5 feet from you. Like,
me
dude.
5 feet to the right. It hurts so bad.
Oh, Obi-Wan, you son of a bitch.
I have to go now, Obi-Wan. I'll kill you for this. I'm gonna go check with Padme, motherfucker.
If I had my arms and legs, I swear I'd get up and kick your ass.
Like you'd be a dead man, Obi-Wan. Well, isn't that the point?
Oh man! All right. So yes, this is taking place prior to episode 1. So we're kind of getting a little bit of some insight as to what Darth Maul was. He's still working for the Emperor at this point. Well, Darth Sidious, right? Darth Sidious, Palpatine.
Correct.
So I'm going to throw out some other characters here. These are characters that, again, I remember hearing about Cad Bane showing up on, gosh, I think it was Boba Fett.
Yeah,
I
Cad
can't
Bane
remember.
shows up in either the Boba Fett or the third
Or
season.
Mandalorian Lore.
That stuff
Yeah.
is all blending together to me now.
Right. I don't, but I understand he was obviously on the Clone Wars. He was a big deal there. But to kind of give our listeners an idea who Cad Bane is, he's the de facto leader of this group of bounty hunters that kind of help Darth Maul out in this story. He's cool, he's professional, he's calculating. Bane serves as Maul's primary proxy and brings a strong galactic gunslinger presence. This is his earliest chronological appearance in Marvel Star Wars comics at this point. Then we have Aura Singh, a deadly sniper and former Jedi acolyte. She adds speed, precision, and a ruthless edge to the team, contrasting Maul's raw emotional fury with cold efficiency. Aura Singh apparently was in the Phantom Menace movie. I don't know, or Aura Singh, I should say. I keep calling her Sling. And then we have Vorhedilo, a blood-drinking Colasetto hunter who specializes in close quarters combat. He's definitely like this almost kind of insect looking thing. It's kind of scary. Like I said, blood drinking. This is his first appearance, and so he's not got any other appearances in any other lore as far as I know. This Darth Maul series is his first appearance. Then we have True Trail Tech, a lesser known bounty hunter focused on infiltration and technical skills, rounding out the team's utility during the auction. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a second. And this is his first appearance as well. So let me do the summary for this book. Star Wars Darth Maul is set shortly before the Phantom Menace and follows Maul during a time when Darth Sidious keeps him deliberately restrained, forcing him to suppress his desire to hunt Jedi while the Sith remain hidden. While operating in the galaxy's criminal underworld, Maul learns that a Jedi Padawan, Eldra Catus, has been captured by the ruthless crime boss, Zev Zrexis. He plans to sell her at a high-stakes auction, catering to the galaxy's wealthiest and most depraved criminals. Seeing this as a chance to secretly fulfill his purpose, Maul hires bounty hunters to infiltrate the operation, keeping his Sith identity concealed while navigating Nar Shaddaa's syndicates and black market power brokers. After Maul seizes Eldra from the auction, Zrexis sabotages his escape and strands everyone on the deadly moon of Draskell, where she
You little Draskell. I enjoy the little Draskels, Spanky, Alfalfa,
Darth Maul, where she
Maul.
turns. Oh, there's a Photoshop opportunity out there somewhere. Gosh. Where she turns the situation into a sadistic game by organizing a live hunt with her guests as participants. Forced into survival mode, Maul ultimately confronts Eldra in a brutal duel, killing his first Jedi and fully embracing the thrill of combat he has been denied. He then hunts down and executes Zrexis to erase all evidence of the Sith's involvement. When Maul returns to Sidious, he expects punishment, but instead finds his master quietly pleased, as it was Sidious who put Maul on the Padawan's path at the beginning. And Maul has returned, having proven that he can act independently and embody the ruthless ambition demanded by the Sith. So there you go. That is a 2-paragraph summary of what happens in the book. All right, Mark. So you were kind of, I think you were on the same line as me as far as going into this book. Like you wanted to learn more about Darth Maul, who he was, as a character and what he did.
I wanted it to be handled the same way the Vader books were handled, where you really got inside the mind of Darth Maul, and you got to see him unleashed, because you can just invent character for him to cut down the same way that they did in the Vader books. So that was the big thing here, was I wanted to see this really cool looking character who we didn't really get a whole lot of in the Phantom Menace. Here's his own story. You can do anything you want with him, as long as it lines up with the Phantom Menace, which it's not that hard to do that. So cool. What fun story, what interesting things you're going to have Darth Maul do. What fascinating mindset will he have were my questions going into this book.
Right.
None of them were answered. None, not a single one.
Well, I come out of this with a couple things kind of added to the character, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But let me ask you this question. I mean, do you think it's actually better we know less about him as a character? I know you wanted more, But is there also an argument for us knowing less and keeping it much of a mystery to keep that character,
You're asking me the Michael Myers question.
Yeah.
Is Michael Myers still scary if we know his backstory? Is Freddy still scary if we know his backstory? And a lot of these questions have been answered. No, none of this made any of it better.
Right.
Michael Myers was much more frightening as just sort of the embodiment of evil, and you had no idea what was motivating him other than he wanted to go home. Freddy, he's torturing these kids because they're the children of the people that burned him. And then after that, it was just more kids. I love to torture. I love to torture children. Someone's going to clip this later for me. I love to torture children. Radulich.
I knew that'd show up in court somewhere.
Yeah. But so, I mean, there's a question in here. I would like to say to you guys, when did he become a Sith? That's the problem. It doesn't answer those questions.
Yeah.
It doesn't speak to it at all.
Yeah. It doesn't give you, there's some small, not small, revelations as far as like his backstory. There's a little bit, but you don't get any idea as to when he became a Sith.
That's the thing, is like, I don't know. The problem with a lot of the post-Disney Star Wars books is I don't know how much editorial oversight they had and what limitations there were, because this is not the first time we've made this complaint. Where, you're doing all of these books with all these different characters and giving them their own side stories, and then nothing interesting is happening. I mean, I still think that one of the best ones we read was the Princess Leia book, and it was interesting because it was more of a character study. It was Princess Leia going, I want to go out and have fun and be a rebel and shoot bad guys. And they're like, aren't you like the fucking leader of the New Republic? Sit down. And then you had to deal with Yvonne. Yvonne. There was a lot of really fun stuff with that. But then I also remember the Han Solo book not being all that interesting.
No.
And this kind of went back and forth. There was really interesting stuff with the Darth Vader book. We talked about that, for a good long time. Not to mention the fact it was like 30 some odd issues. But it's like they're really inconsistent. So to this guy's question, we don't know when Darth Maul became a Sith. We don't know anything about him. I know as much about Darth Maul after reading this book as I did prior to reading this book, based only on what I've seen in the movies, which is not much. Does that make him more, did that make him more mysterious? Here's the thing. If they had given me a good story here where, it's like Darth Maul unleashed and he is causing serious problems in the Star Wars universe that has to, somehow, that has some sort of weight of any kind, doesn't necessarily have to impact the main storyline, but leaves a lasting impression of some sort, I would have been okay with that without having known like his entire lore and backstory. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. Great. Well, then give me lore and backstory. Tell me, was he left in a basket on someone's front porch that says, "Please take care of my baby," and he was adopted by fucking
watch the horns,
and he's adopted by fucking space wolves or something. I don't know. Like, what? How did he end up being? Is he fucking Darth Sidious's like fucking mutant love child with he banged a cactus or something? I don't know. What did he do? Where is it from?
Right.
And then we don't do that either. And so instead, we just get this kind of story where it's like, there's this kidnapped Jedi. He's got to go kill her, and eventually he does. 5 issues.
And here's what kind of changed for me coming out of the book for Maul, and it's not much, but okay, there's a lot to the story about restraint. All right, the Sith are operating like completely under the radar. They do not want to reveal that they exist at this point. They can't do that until
Darth is like, if you fuck this up, I have so many plans.
Knowing
what you know about the Phantom Menace and like what he's gonna do throughout the prequel trilogy, and he's just like, motherfucker, you dumb shit. If you fuck this up for me, I will kill you, bring you back to life, and kill you 20 more times.
Just go do something and stop thinking about it. But the thing is that
I have never identified with a character more than Darth Sidious. This is so important, and you're gonna mess it up because you have the brain of luggage, okay? And you're gonna ruin this for me. And stop. Just follow the goddamn instructions.
Just stay still. But he can't. He cannot do it. And because it's like it consumes him, the idea of killing, like he has to kill a Jedi. Like that is, he's got to do it.
The thing is, well, it would have been nice to know why.
And it doesn't really focus on obviously giving you the reason as to why he wants to do that. But I think that also feeds into like his mindset. Like that's just, he's so irrationally obsessed with killing a Jedi that it consumes him. And what you also
where
find
does that and almost fucks up Sidious's plans would have been a much better story.
Well, that's kind of like the tension throughout this whole thing is like, how's he going to get away with this? Because if he does this, somebody's probably going to know. The other thing that I also noticed that they kind of pointed out is that he's a bit of an adrenaline junkie. He gets like he takes a thrill in doing, and that comes out at the end. Like he says, "Well, I did this. Not only did I like doing it, but man, was it fun!" Like he's an adrenaline junkie.
Jesse, I wanted you to take that question that I just put on the screen.
Where does he get the dual lightsaber? Well, I don't believe that is covered in this book.
There you go. Inquiring minds want to know, Jesse.
This is 5 issues of, I'll tell you what made this fun, because about 2 or 3 issues into it, I was like, okay, this is really standard Star Wars fare. Yeah. Okay, he's going, we're going to go fight it. I saw this in Darth Vader. We're going to have a Jedi duel. We're going to see this. We're going to see that. Something's going to happen. But he captures the Jedi and then tries to leave. And then all of a sudden it becomes surviving the game with Ice-T, where Zerev Zexis or whatever bombs the ship and they land on the planet. And she's like, you know what? Hey guys, this guy screwed you over. Why don't you all go and kill him? And now the Sith and the Jedi have to work together, which really that doesn't happen too much. But they do have to kind of fight off some people. And then Darth Maul's like, you know what? It's time for me and you to go. And so they have the fight. And he actually kills the Jedi, which that kind of surprised me. I mean, I thought
that's like the bravest thing in the book is that it actually does like stab the Jedi.
Yeah, he actually kills this Padawan. So, I kind of took that out of it. I'm right there with you. I think this is kind of the midpoint of our trilogy that we're going to be talking about here of these books. I thought it was fun once they hit the planet and they had to go on the run. But by the end of it, of course, Palpatine had put everything in motion. He knew exactly what was going on. I was like, okay. All right.
Yeah, I really hate that they rest on that Star Wars trope a little too much. In Darth Sidious's Blom, what do you call it? The Bond villain. I was the author of all your pain. Hang on.
Right. We got another question.
No.
Let's see if I can answer it.
Hang on.
It was all me, James. It's always been me, the author of all your pain.
Oh.
Palpatine. The Palpatine, the author of all your pain. I know everything. I know everything that's going to happen before. Then why did you send him out there? Why do you need to do this? Whenever they do the Palpatine knew all, the Palpatine knew the
manipulated everything.
When Palpatine was setting up the FBI to be investigated by the CIA, and it was all Department of Human Services' fault. I like, okay, then there's no tension here. I don't understand where writing tension into your story evaporated over the years, but that's a big problem for me because I see it in movies too.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of took me out, like seeing Darth Maul have a personality and inner monologue, and I'd rather him have stayed more mysterious. The only thing, like I said, that come out of this is just me going, okay, well, he does it because he likes it. All right. Okay. I guess that makes it a little more, when you start to watch the Duel of the Fates or you start to watch that lightsaber battle and he's just a seething animal, like he is ready to go. Now you kind of have an idea of like, okay, well, he's also he enjoys this. He's like I said, an adrenaline junkie. He likes to fight. He loves the fight. He wants to kill a Jedi so bad. And now I'm untethered. Now I'm unleashed. I can go after these guys. He's been waiting for it this whole time. Well, he actually took a Jedi Padawan's life prior to this. So
you know what book did this better?
Tell me.
Better and better.
Better.
Dark Empire.
Dark Empire.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember Dark Empire.
Where what do you call it? Luke is cloned, I believe it was, and he's the entirety of time that he's turned to the dark side. He has the Emperor in his head going kill or whatever it was, and he finally does it. But like I don't remember if he killed the Emperor in that scene or like a clone of himself or something.
There were clones definitely involved. That's for
sure.
Dark Empire. Oh man. Well, I mean, I did learn that Darth Maul species is called a Zabrak. All right, so there's that.
I had a Zabrak for lunch today. It was delicious. That World of Beer. It was made with pecan pie. It was amazing.
So again, Cad Bane showing up here was pretty cool. You know, I'd heard a lot about him, so seeing him in here in a comic, reading a comic with him, great. Kind of see again, Star Wars pulling Star Wars people together in a story. It's all typical Star Wars stuff at this point. So
yeah, like I said, it's one of those where it's like the Christian thing. Like not everything has to be a 1 or a 10. Some things can be a 5. This was an absolute 5.
All right. I'm not going to recommend this to anybody unless they're like really big Darth Maul fans.
Well, there's a guy in the chat. He's been sending. I put a couple of his comments on the screen. We've been side chatting as I'm talking to you. Would I recommend it to him? Yes, he's interested in Darth Maul. So if you're interested in the character and you'd like more of the character, it's a fine enough book to read. This is not the only Darth. Wasn't there a second Darth Maul series, or was it?
I was going to say there was a few actually, but I'll take a look and double check here.
I feel like there's at least one more because we had to. Because I remember when we did the Darth Vader thing, we were talking about doing more Star Wars books. There was a couple of second edition series. Like I know there's a second Darth Vader series out there.
So okay, here you go. So you got the 2017 Darth Maul we just did.
Mm-hmm.
You then have 2000 comic book which came out. So this was back shortly after the prequels dropped. There's Darth Maul Death Sentence from 2012. Darth Maul Son of Dathomir from 2014.
Right.
Age of Republic, Darth Maul from 2019, and Darth Maul Black, White, and Red from 2024. Very recent.
Right. So again, if you're like this guy who's been nice enough to watch our stream and hang on. Then yeah, I would recommend it to him. If you're like a big Star Wars nut and you just like everything Star Wars, this is fine. Like I said, it's not going to change your life. It's not, this isn't Day Tripper or like The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. But if you're just like a consumer of the Star Wars IP and you're like a Chris Bailey, like everything good is everything Star Wars, by all means read the Darth Maul book. So he just put this comment on here, and I needed you to see it. Isn't Darth Vader the Kid Slayer 2000?
Kid Slayer 2000. I mean, he definitely took care of some kids there.
Or not only once, but several times killed children. Yes, and many different kinds.
Oh yeah,
Sand people, children, Padawans. I'm sure
he's not above it.
I
2000, I think, is his score.
If we're counting the Death Star blowing up Alderaan, he killed a lot more children.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he's definitely excelled at that.
Who do you pin that on? Like, is it the blowing up of Alderaan?
Oh,
like,
well,
I mean, like who do you like? This is a Captain America Shield question. Who exact?
I would pin that on the Greater Empire because he was less of a general or just kind of a guy that's going to kill people.
Okay, so like Darth Vader, not what you're arguing is that Darth Vader really didn't play a role in picking out the target.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
My
son, Darth Vader's lawyer, he is not guilty of genocide, as he was not. It's like the Nuremberg trial over here. It's like he was not involved in the planning of the destruction of Alderaan, therefore he cannot be accused blowing up Alderaan. You cannot pin that on him. However,
enough.
slaughtering Padawans, he absolutely did.
Yes.
Killing Sand People children, he absolutely did.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of killing kids, let's get to Shredder in Hell.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to kill some brain cells.
Okay, can we start off with why you pitched this to me? Because we decided we were going to do like villain books, and this was like I had Cobra Commander already on my shelf. I had wanted to read Darth Maul. We talked about it after the Darth Vader, and so we kind of threw all this together. And then we were thinking of like, what third book are we going to do? Skeletor, Mumra, some other villain book out there. Any one of the... I didn't really want to do strict DC or Marvel stuff like Doctor Doom or some shit. So we landed on, like, I think probably the best of other than maybe Transformers, probably the most readily identifiable children's IP was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that I don't have a major problem with. Why did you make me read Shredder in Hell?
Well, let's just say I had no idea what we were getting into. I'll put that out there.
Because this was totally you. This was not. This was
me going, oh, I'd like to read that.
Okay.
And it's not that I heard anything good. It's just that I was blindly going with, okay, Shredder goes to hell. What's he going to run into there? What kind of craziness?
Like passes Godzilla also in hell.
Yeah, wait, I know that guy.
What are you doing here, Godzilla? What does that mean? It means a very brief cameo.
Yeah. So I was kind of expecting something where we're going to tell a story about Shredder either redeeming himself in some way or whatever. What I didn't expect is kind of where we were at in TMNT continuity. So I probably should have researched it a little better because that plays a very important part in that book. So yeah, I picked it because I thought we were going to get something a little less heady and a lot less with Shredder from TMNT or a gay dude. What with Shredder? We'll go with from TMNT, not an actual gay dude. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So
we are absolutely talking about the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, I do not know.
And he is not, and I don't know if there's an iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where Shredder is actually gay.
It could be.
However,
you never know.
He's got the look. Like all good villains, he is motivated by the love of a good woman in this book. So not gay. Who's got a case of the not gay? Shredder.
I think you might be getting them confused with the ass Shredder, and that's definitely a gay dude. I'm just kidding. Well, it's canon now. He's definitely a gay dude.
Gay porn version, TMNT spreader in hell. Oh my!
Oh, that's horrible.
That's gonna make you walk wrong.
No. All right. So there you go. That's why I chose it. I'm gonna go ahead and
had you heard anything about it?
No.
Again,
I don't think I did.
TMNT fan, so
right.
I wouldn't have talked to anyone. But you like live in the comic book store. You actually talk to comic book people. What was the word on the street?
No, there wasn't anything that I had heard about this. So it's not like I was going into this saying, okay, this is going to be great. I was going into it like, oh, I'd like to read this. I assume what they're going to do here is going to be decent. So here we go. All right. This comes out 2019. Story and art by Mateus Santalouco. Color assist by Marcelo Costa and Davi Khalil, it looks like. Lettering design, Sean Lee. All right. Let's go ahead and get something straight that I haven't already made, apparent. Coming into this, my foundation is the TMNT 80s cartoon. All right. First and foremost, let's be up front with that. But
I have some follow-up questions. So have you ever read, even like in passing, the original Eastman and Laird black and white comics.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for those. I was just about to say I have read some of the black and white Eastman and Laird comics, so I have a little bit of that under my belt. Not a whole lot, but I've read some. I love. Go ahead.
Well, if people listening don't know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as most people know them as the goofy pizza-eating cowabunga turtles, are not what the comic book was.
No, they're not.
The original iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a super overly serious black and white comic book where they were chronologically teenagers, but they were not immature.
Right.
And that there was like a whole attachment to Japanese lore that was sewn into the stories. And then, as with all things back in the 80s and 90s, some company licensed the comic book and decided to make a cartoon. And since this was for kids, and those comic books were really not for kids, not that age, made it very kiddie-like.
Oh, yeah.
And from then on, the original presentation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was always seen as like taking the kids thing and making it serious. It's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
They took a serious thing and made it very kiddie. And then there have been some attempts over the years to turn it back to what it once was. This feels like it's straight out of the original continuity from Eastman and Laird, where everything was super serious and very Japanese.
Well, it was more serious, that's for sure. So you got to think we're reading something that is happening right before the 100th issue in its IDW continuity. And it's supposed to fit right in there. So there's a lot that's happened that I wasn't ready for. I wasn't expecting. Basically prior to this, Shredder had his head cut off and he is dead. And his daughter is trying to bring him back, or bring a dragon god back. I'll talk about that in the synopsis. But regardless, the point is that there's a lot happening in this comic. There's a lot happening in this IDW continuity.
Yeah, this was not a good read in the sense of like you can't just pick it up and read it and be like, okay, I understand more or less what's happening. This is unfortunately not an encapsulated book.
Right.
This chapter of a very long story is encapsulated. It's kind of like Boba Fett's escape from the Sarlacc, where, that was sort of the similarities being you have these figures escaping Dante's Inferno, essentially, escaping hell. But yeah, what got him there? What are all these other characters that he's connected to? Like, it's so much more, there's so much more lore woven into this story that I didn't have. So when you were like, you're not going to like this, and some of it is just because it's so prose heavy. But some of it was also, I don't understand what I'm reading. It's part 17 in like a 30-part story.
Yeah, that's really, I think, where this was tough as a reader going into. I just was like, okay, I made a mistake. I picked up, like you said, chapter 17 in this 20 chapter book here. Yeah, so going into this though, I since I didn't know much about the continuity, I still come in as a reader interested in what the story was trying to do with Shredder as a character. So I still have an appreciation for what they're trying to do here, because Shredder, much like a Cobra Commander, this villain who's kind of adult in the cartoons, very serious here. So let me run down the characters here real quick. We're not going to have much to say about this book. So what we're going to do, I've got a quiz ready for Mark here. Yes or no questions. We're going to run down through them. And then we're going to kind of compare our thoughts, because I answered the same questions using ChatGPT. So but let's do the characters first, and then I'll do the summary, and then we'll get into the questions about the book itself. So our protagonist is Oroku Saki, the Shredder, primary character of the story, who begins the miniseries dead after being defeated by Splinter. In the afterlife, he is a man grappling with his humanity, remorse, and destiny as he navigates the depths of hell. He has some spiritual guides to help him along the way. He has Hamato Yoshi, Splinter, Saki's former friend and rival who acts as a Virgil-like guide through the underworld. He appears in both his human form and his mutant rat form, Splinter, to help Saki find his own path. Tang Shen, the deceased wife of Hamato Yoshi, she appears in the spirit realm, often in a peaceful garden, and encourages Saki to make amends. Then we have Oroku Maji, Saki's father, who appears as an echo of Saki's soul to torment him with his past failures. We got some divine entities in this thing as well. We have the dragon god, a primal deity of destruction and the son of Brahma. He seeks to use Oroku Saki's soul as a vessel.
The people's champion, The Rock, the Brahma Bull.
I'm doing the eyebrow. Oroku Saki's, he seeks to use Oroku Saki's soul as a vessel to escape his imprisonment in the underworld and return to the living world. Then we have the Dreamer, who is the twin sister of the dragon, representing creation and maintenance. She, maintenance. That's a funny name, funny title there. She showed up with a mop. It was spill on aisle 6. She originally designed the soul that became Oroku Saki as a prison to contain her brother's destructive spirit. Then we have Kitsune, an immortal being and daughter of the dragon who is Saki's lover in the living world. She orchestrated Saki's resurrection ritual with the intent of using his soul to bring her father back to Earth, though she genuinely fell in love with Saki in the process. Then we have Akka, the daughter of the dragon who loves humanity and opposes her sister's Kitsune's plans. She is eventually killed to clear the path for the dragon's return.
Also, the Agency for Healthcare Assurance. They're a regulatory agency.
I thought they were a member of the head shrinkers. Akka and Sika, right?
Hey, one sec. So the guy who's been commenting on the Darth Maul stuff.
Yes.
I'm only interrupting you because you would know better than I. He says, "Look at the Amazing Spider-Man, the end of the hunt, and the most shattering revelation of all." Did you do Kraven's Last Hunt?
I did Kraven's Last Hunt. I don't know if End of the Hunt was another story that had happened sometime recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look that up to see.
Okay.
I can tell you Kraven's Last Hunt was something else. Me and Benjamin J. Cologne, we did do that, and that was, man, you talk about that's a sad story right there.
Jesse, how long have you been doing source material? About
14 years.
14
Close
years?
to 15, yeah.
Yeah, so he's done a source material pretty much weekly, except for a brief period where he was essential during COVID, and I took over for a while. But there has been a source material comics podcast pretty much weekly for the entirety of 14 years.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that whatever you're going to suggest, we've done it already. Which is why we're doing the books that we're doing, because it's like, what else is there? How many more times are we going to talk about the Infinity War and the Long Halloween?
I was actually just went back and was working on a show, the 14-part, which was a record holder for the longest time until you came along. The 14-part Maximum Carnage, where me, Ben, and Jason Teasley got together on Blog Talk Radio and did that. It is a Chameleon Kraven. Ooh, interesting. Nice little twist right there.
So Google it when we're done. Maybe you can find a spot after April of 2027.
That's
how far out our schedule goes after
I dig
all the Tom King stuff.
I dig a good Kraven story though. He's an interesting character.
And, anything's got to be better than the fucking movie. Oy.
Oh boy.
Anyway, back to Shredder in Hell.
Akka and Sika, the head shrinkers.
Yes. The Agency for Healthcare Association.
Other Pantheon members. There's all sorts of other things. Flashbacks or reunions include Jaguar, Man-Moth, Toad Baron, Rat King, Chiyoyu, and Gathano. Just all right. So they're there. And then we have the antagonists, Takeshi Tatsuo, the founder of the Foot Clan, the original vessel for the dragon. As Saki's previous incarnation, he berates Saki for his perceived weakness and serves as a manifestation of the dragon's will. And then we talked about them earlier. They showed up, the demonic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, nightmarish versions of Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. that haunt Saki in hell. Unlike their living counterparts, these are bloodthirsty demons intended to test Saki's resolve. And yes, my favorite turtle is Raphael. I saw that was a question that was listed in here earlier. Mark, you got a favorite turtle?
Yertle.
Yertle the turtle.
Yes.
It's beautiful. That's a Dr. Seuss reference.
That's correct. See, I'm a jerk to everyone.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're so lucky to be treated so equally. Here's the summary. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder in Hell begins immediately after the death of Oroku Saki in the IDW TMNT series. Instead of passing on, Saki awakens in a shifting, nightmarish afterlife where he is forced to relive fragments of his past, his crimes, and his legacy. Guided at times by the spirit of Splinter, Saki navigates a hostile underworld filled with distorted reflections of familiar figures, including demonic versions of the Turtles and manifestations of his former selves. These trials force him to confront not just what he's done, but who he has been across multiple incarnations. As the journey continues, the story reveals that Saki's soul has long been entangled in a cosmic struggle involving ancient gods known as the Pantheon. He was never just a man, but a vessel meant to contain the destructive power of a dragon god tied to his bloodline. Faced with the choice to embrace the destiny or reject it, Saki ultimately fights to reclaim his own identity and free will. By the end of the series, he is not redeemed in a traditional heroic sense, but transformed, emerging from the underworld, having broken free from the forces that shaped him, setting the stage for his return to the living world and his role in the next issue, TMNT number 100. All right, Mark, I'm not going to ask you just yet. We're going to do the quiz. All right? I told you to do the homework. You didn't do the homework. And you know, you're going to suffer for not doing the homework because there's 114 yes or no questions that you're going to answer right now.
Jesse, I don't know why you're doing this to yourself.
Yes or no? Here we go.
When you asked who my favorite Ninja Turtle was, I said Yertle.
Yes or no? Here we go.
Okay.
Did you enjoy reading this more than you expected going in?
No.
Did the book feel more important rather than just supplemental?
I'm only allowed to answer yes or no.
I mean, you don't have. You can elaborate if you want, but try to remember. There's 114 of these. I don't want you falling asleep on the podcast.
I'm not my girlfriend. She's my sleepy pie.
Check out the album.
Here's the problem. Like, I think it's an interesting take on like Dante's Inferno, and I think that's its value.
Okay. All right. All right. Did it feel like a story that justified its own existence?
Yes.
Okay. Would you recommend it to a TMNT fan without hesitation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you feel confident you understood what was happening most of the time?
No. Oh, Lordy, no.
Oh, Lordy, no. Did the story feel too abstract for your taste at points?
I mean, it's no Doom Patrol.
Okay. Doom Patrol.
By the way, the guy who's the Darth Maul fan, best stream I've seen all day. Well,
we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. Did you feel lost in a way that enhanced that experience rather than hurt it?
I don't even understand that question.
Did you feel lost in a way that enhanced the experience rather than hurt it?
I don't like not knowing what I'm reading.
Okay.
I had sex in the middle of the book. Does that help?
Please. I'm not putting that in here.
Please put that as that's my answer.
I don't
that'll start being my answer.
What happens in a book?
Well, I put the book to the side. It's not like I had it on her face.
You knew what happened in the book.
While I was reading it.
Did you ever feel like you needed outside explanation to get it?
I definitely felt like having not read the previous 100 issues of the IDW TMNT series that, yes, I was lost. And I probably, in retrospect, we shouldn't have done this book.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Did this version of Shredder feel more human than past versions?
I don't know about human, but more relatable, I think, because
Okay.
the other iterations of Shredder is he's kind of a child's cartoon boss,
Okay.
and here he feels like a conflicted human.
Did the story successfully make you empathize with the Rokusaki?
That's Shredder, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did his internal struggle feel genuine rather than forced?
Yes.
Okay. Did you buy the idea that Shredder could change without being redeemed? He doesn't really get redeemed at the end of this. It's just more along the lines of like, okay, I'm not going to be this person anymore. But so that's kind of what they're talking from.
I'll buy that. I think he does. I think he is different at the beginning of the book than he is at the end.
Okay. Did the metaphysical spiritual angle work for you?
Ugh, God. You know what's funny? Because I again, Day Tripper, I loved. That was metaphysical. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, I loved. That was metaphysical. The Crow, I loved. That was metaphysical. So, like, I don't want to have like a Robert Winfrey situation where, like, no, the metaphysics didn't really work for me here. Well, you just don't like anything metaphysical. Go back to reading Cobra Commander. Damn it! Like, I could name 5 other things that were metaphysical I was fine with.
Yeah. So that's a no?
That's a no.
All right. Did the story feel more introspective than action driven?
Yes.
Okay. Did the heavy themes feel earned rather than pretentious?
Ooh. It definitely felt pretentious.
Okay. All right.
There's a fetishization of Japanese culture that is brimming in this book.
Okay. All right.
And because I don't fetishize Japanese culture, it's a little lost on me.
All right. Did the book respect your intelligence as a reader?
Sure.
Okay. Did the visuals or did the art do as much storytelling as the dialogue or more?
Jesse, I'm going to tell you, this is like the art's the best part of this book.
This
is a very pretty looking book.
Okay. All right.
It's definitely no Scott Keith.
I'm restrained. Call me Darth Maul. Did the visuals ever confuse you about what was literally happening?
I mean, the whole book
I'm not
is
going to
confusing,
influence you.
so yeah. The whole book is confusing.
Okay. Did the shifting environments feel emotionally motivated at all?
No.
Okay. Did the book succeed even during stretches with little or no dialogue?
Yes. The less dialogue, the better. I was kind of hoping this was Godzilla in Hell and there would just be no dialogue.
That's kind of what I was hoping to. Did this story meaningfully expand the TMNT mythology for you?
Not even a little.
Okay. Did the cosmic elements feel like a natural extension of IDW TMNT?
Sure.
Did it change how you view Shredder going forward?
I would have to view Shredder going forward, which I will not.
Okay. Did it reframe past TMNT stories in your mind in any way?
I haven't read. I am aware of the Eastman and Laird black and white TMNT, and I've not even looked at anything else.
So nothing. So that'd be a no for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think we've ever with you. You may have reviewed other TMNT stuff, but I would have to look on my shelf to see if I even own anything else that we've done.
Yeah, I've reviewed the first issue, and then we did Stranger Things TMNT a couple weeks back.
Right, but like I feel like there was another crossover. Like I don't know, like TMNT and Voltron or something, or
TMNT and Ghostbusters. That was me and Ronnie. That was we did that. So, and I think they might have. I mean, there's plenty of crossovers.
Didn't we do TMNT and Batman?
I did not. You and Alexis did.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
I didn't. I wasn't part of that. I was essential. Did the ending feel satisfying on an emotional level?
Sure.
Okay. Did the ending, or did it avoid feeling like a reset button?
Yes.
Okay. Did it earn its place as a bridge to later IDW events?
Yes.
Did you feel closure rather than sequel bait?
I mean, he got out of hell. Good enough.
Okay, good enough. Did the book linger in your thoughts after finishing it at all?
No.
Okay.
I was told finish reading. We have to go to lunch with my friend Ed. That's all I remember.
Clean yourself up.
Clean up, yeah, and clean your pelvis.
Oh, gosh. Did it challenge what you expect from a TMNT comic?
No.
Okay. Did it feel more like a character study than a franchise entry?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say this is one of the better Shredder stories ever told?
I have nothing to compare it to. So
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
By the way,
all right.
the guy is answering the questions as well.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you. Did you admire the book more than you enjoyed reading it?
Yes.
Okay. Did it feel like a book you're glad exists, even if you didn't love reading it?
I mean, like I kind of said about the Darth Maul book. Obviously, especially for people younger than me, I'm almost 50. So for like people a little bit closer to like Alexis's age, 12. To people like who are 40 now or 40 to 45 now, who are more closer to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IP than I was, I think they would love this, or maybe not. I don't know, but I don't want to take away anything that brings joy and fulfillment to people. Okay. So I'm aware that there's an entire group of people out there that love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't really have any affection for them one way or the other. Okay. They existed when I was a child, but I was an older child when they came out, and it was like, this is just another thing. All right. I don't have the attachment to TMNT that I have G.I. Joe, Transformers, and He-Man.
Gotcha.
And Thundercats.
Okay. All right. We're going to go. We're blasting through the rest of these. I want just yes, no. All right. Did you ever feel like you were appreciating the idea of the book more than the experience?
Yes.
Did finishing it feel more like checking off an obligation than a thrill?
Yes.
Yeah. Did confusion ever pull you out of the story emotionally?
Dude, there was a point where I'm pretty sure I was thinking about other stuff.
Yeah. Did you find yourself rereading pages more out of necessity than curiosity?
The opposite. I was skim reading at one point. I'm like, words. It felt like a Kevin Smith fucking Daredevil at times. I'm like, words.
Oh my gosh. I wish I could type and talk at the same time. All right. Did the lack of clarity ever make the story feel emotionally distant?
Yeah.
Did you feel the book assumed too much familiarity with IDW lore?
Oh, God, yes.
Did the abstraction ever prevent scenes from landing with impact?
Probably.
Okay. Did you miss having more concrete stakes while reading?
I didn't need the stakes to be increased. I needed to understand what he was going through, which I didn't.
Okay. All right. So you
and I needed, and if you're going to have a guy, look, I've seen many a movie and I've read many a story about a guy tripped through hell and experiencing his greatest fears or things like that. And it's very, very clear what the character is confronting. It was not clear what he was confronting in this book.
Okay. Did the metaphysical elements feel more intellectual than emotional?
Yes. Very fetishy of Japanese culture.
Yeah. Next question. Did the symbolism sometimes feel more opaque than evocative?
Yes.
Okay. Did this story make Shredder interesting without making him likable?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever feel emotionally closer to the concept of Shredder than the character himself?
No.
Okay. Did his suffering feel earned even if it didn't always resonate?
Yes.
Did the book succeed more at redefining Shredder than deepening him?
Yes.
Okay. Did the art ever feel at odds with the narrative clarity?
No.
Okay. Did the visual confusion reduce your emotional investment in certain scenes?
Somewhat.
Okay. Did you trust the art more than the story to guide you?
Yes.
Okay. Did the book ever feel like it prioritized mood over momentum?
Prioritize words.
Okay. So does this podcast apparently right now. Did you want a slightly more traditional TMNT framework to ground the story?
No, I'm fine with I'm fine with Alice in Wonderland. You have to do a better job of getting me through the story, though.
Okay. All right. Did this feel more like a creator-driven project than a franchise story?
Yes.
Did it feel like a prestige comic that isn't designed for rereading casually?
Well, it was no nameless, but yes.
Okay. Did it feel closer to an art comic than a narrative one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you think your opinion of this book could improve over time?
I mean, maybe if I read the previous 100 issues, sure.
Okay. Would you be more positive on it in discussion than you were while reading it?
I don't understand the question.
Okay. All right. We'll just put maybe. Did it
Yordle.
Yordle. Did it give you more to talk about than to feel?
No.
Okay.
I kind of dreaded talking about this book.
Yeah. Does it work better as a discussion piece than a reading experience?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If this wasn't a TMNT book, would you have finished it?
Jesse, we had to do a podcast on it. That's
We had to do a podcast.
That's not really a fair
on it.
question. I
Right.
mean, I didn't answer your questions, but I'm not some of the other people we podcast with. I show up prepared to do the podcast.
Would you read another book like this from the same creator?
From the same creator, yes. Would I read another TMNT book? No.
All right. Does your lukewarm response come more from execution than intent?
Yes.
Okay. Does this feel like a necessary but imperfect story in the IDW TMNT run?
I don't have enough information to answer that question.
Okay. All right. Did the book feel like it was written for the creator first and the reader second?
No, it was written specifically for fans of this particular series.
Okay. Did you ever feel like the book?
Honestly, I think we're doing the book a huge disservice by not having somebody who has read the series up to this point. So, if Ben were here and he had read the whole thing, you'd have a completely different take on this book.
Right. Did you ever feel like the book was daring you to keep up rather than inviting you in?
Yes.
Okay. Did the story feel more?
The book did not give a fuck about its readers. No.
Did the story feel more rewarding after finishing it than while reading it?
One more time.
Did the story feel more rewarding after finishing than while reading? Okay.
No.
Did you feel emotionally held at arm's length on purpose?
Yes.
Did you want more moments of stillness focused purely on Saki's emotions?
Yes.
Did the story move past emotional beats too quickly?
Yes.
Did the book ever ask you to infer emotion instead of letting you feel it?
Yes.
Did the abstraction interfere with empathy more than it enhanced it?
You know what I'm getting from these questions? And I keep saying it fetishizes Japanese culture. I actually can tell you exactly why I don't like this book.
Okay.
Because it's basically a manga.
Oh, all right then. All right.
So, let me tell you why I don't like manga. For one thing, I'm not 12. For another, I'm not a girl.
So many good manga stories.
But in all seriousness, though the few mangas that I've read, and my son will hear me say this, so he'll run over and back me up or not. But just kind of listening to my daughter talk about the mangas that she's read, listening to my son talk about the mangas that he's read. That's a lie. You've read the Splatoon and you've read the Link ones.
Splatoon?
You still read them, you asshole. Let's stop doing what thanks, Grandpa. But he gets corn, and I don't remember. I was dead at the time. Anyway, my son who doesn't read mangas, who's read mangas, as I was saying, they are very word heavy. So some of the best stuff that we've read, and we've talked about on source material over the last 14 years, showed not told.
Yeah.
One of the biggest criticisms that we've had was when something got overly wordy. The worst thing we've read on here, one of the worst things we've read on here, was Kevin Smith's Daredevil.
Yep.
Because he never knew when to stop.
Right.
And everything got over-explained. There's long stretches of block dialogue. I'm a reader. I read nonfiction. I used to be smart. Read nonfiction books. I've read Pulitzer Prize winners. I'm not afraid of a wordy tomb. However, in my comic books, which are a visual medium, believe it or not, you should do more showing, not telling, I think. And this is overly reliant on speech bubbles. Most mangas that I've seen are overly reliant on speech bubbles. quite frankly, the animes are overly reliant on dialogue. It's two characters standing in a space, block dialogue, fire hosing each other. It drives me up the wall.
We're gonna have,
and that's what I got out of this. Was there was so when people agree with me, they're automatically cool in my book. And I want them to be more a part of the show. So he's cool right now. It is my problem with Shredder in Hell, as we answer these questions, and it's just that's why I stopped you, was so much of this was tell not show. And I really wanted a book called Shredder in Hell to be more visually appealing, which it's a pretty looking book, but it's a pretty looking book that is cocked up with lots of word bubbles. And it's characters I don't know. It's characters with different, it's the same character with different identities at times. It's a lot of lore I don't have. Instead of just fucking show Shredder dealing with some of his inner shit. And let's get through Godzilla in Hell. Perfect. No dialogue.
Yep.
Despite Christian's protestations. All right, I'll let you finish.
All right, we are just about done.
I will let you finish your Inquisition.
Here we go. Did the abstraction interfere with empathy?
Here we go, the Inquisition.
More
what a show!
Did the abstraction interfere with empathy more than it enhanced it?
No.
Okay. Then we have. Did you ever feel unclear about what Saki would lose if he failed?
Well, no, I knew what he would lose.
Okay, all right. Then did the lack of a clear external antagonist weaken tension?
No.
Okay. Did the journey feel inevitable rather than suspenseful?
No.
Okay. Did you feel the story was more about process than outcome?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever pause to admire pages even when you weren't fully following them?
Honestly, I was speed reading it, but then I went back to flip through and look at the artwork because the artwork was pretty.
All right. Did the visual beauty sometimes replace narrative clarity?
I mean, it definitely substituted.
Okay. Did you feel the art was asking you to slow down more than the story demanded?
No. If anything, the artwork was keeping me engaged.
Okay. Did the book require an art comic reading mode rather than a standard one?
The fuck did that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm putting in there. What does that mean?
Make sure you write it the way I said it. What the fuck do that mean?
What?
Like I'm Gus from The Wire season 5. Yeah, what do that mean?
Did you miss seeing Shredder interact with living characters?
No.
Okay. Did the absence of the turtles as grounding figures affect your engagement?
No.
Did the story feel disconnected from emotional tone of most TMNT stories?
Actually, can we go back to that? I'm annoyed the turtles were in it in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, annoyed that the turtles were in it.
I was much more interested in Shredder dealing with his own inner turmoil than I was a ghost version of the turtles.
Okay. Did the story feel disconnected from the emotional tone of most TMNT stories? Just based it off of what you've read. Doesn't have to be IDW. Okay.
I'll say no.
All right. Did it feel like a detour rather than a destination? I swear some of these feel like they're repeating themselves, but go ahead.
How did you come up with these questions?
This is me working through my shit.
Okay. Yertle.
Okay, great. Did you feel pressure to respect the book because of its ambition?
No, I don't respect anything. I don't ever feel pressure to respect anything. I respect what I respect, and I respect what I don't respect.
Here it is. Did you hesitate to dislike it because it's clearly well crafted?
Did you know that Robert called me a coward for saying that Snow White was the 5th worst movie of this year? And that he insinuated that I was doing it for clout and that I was afraid to fight with people online about it.
Wow.
And I had to call him a motherfucker because of it, because that's not who I am.
I mean, I heard some really bad things about Snow White.
Oh no, it's terrible. But it's, in my opinion, so my bottom 5 were they had to be the worst made and the least enjoyed. Problem with Snow White was I actually did enjoy it, despite it being one of the worst movies made this year. Five Nights at Freddy's was my number 1. I fucking hated that movie, but I actively had a bad time watching it. Like, I don't get mad and walk out of theaters. I almost walked out of Five Nights at Freddy's. Had my kids not been there, I'd have taken my dick out, pissed on the screen, and left.
Did you hesitate?
I enjoyed watching. I enjoyed how bad Snow White was.
Okay. All right.
So my point is, I don't like or dislike anything due to external pressure.
Okay. All right.
You should know that by now. You should know this.
I should know this, man.
I should know this.
Okay. So next up, did you feel like the book succeeded critically more than emotionally?
No, the other way around. Actually, I think it's a more emotional book than it is a critical. Then
Okay.
I don't, like I said, there's a lot craft wise that's wrong with this book, but I think emotionally it's a pretty interesting read.
Okay. Did it feel like a book that improves with explanation rather than rereading?
I don't know. Explain it to me, Daddy.
Yeah. Would a slightly more linear structure have improved your experience?
A coherent structure. I wouldn't say linear.
Okay. Would fewer metaphysical ideas explored more deeply have helped?
Sure.
Did you want less symbolism or more character anchoring? Which
More
one did you want? More character anchoring?
More character, yeah.
Okay. Does this book ultimately work better in conversation than in solitude?
Yes.
Okay. Did the book intend to create emotional distance as part of its design?
I have no idea what this artist was going for, but I would like to see like a conversation between the guy who wrote this and the guy who wrote Day Tripper.
Okay. All right. Did the distance work against your personal reading preferences?
Yes.
Did the book mistake restraint for depth in places?
That's the thing. I'm real quick to call out if I think something is shallow that is pretending or cosplaying as deeper than it really is. I don't get the sense of that with this book. Okay.
All right. Did you want to sit with Saki longer as a person rather than a symbol?
Yes.
Okay. Did the book resolve ideas more clearly than emotions?
No.
Okay. Did Saki ever feel like a vehicle for themes more than a fully present character?
No.
All right. Did the book feel episodic rather than cumulative?
No.
Did you want clearer cause and effect between scenes?
How many more questions are there?
There are 14 left. I told you, yes or no. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Stop beating me, Daddy.
Did you want clearer cause and effect between scenes?
No.
Okay. Did the lack of narrative handholds increase fatigue while reading?
Yes.
Did the art sometimes ask you to decode rather than absorb?
Yes.
All right. Did you feel like understanding panels took effort away from emotional engagement?
Yes.
Did the visuals feel more expressive than communicative at times?
Yes.
Did your distance come more from unfamiliarity with IDW lore than the book itself?
Yes.
Did you feel the book assumed emotional investment it hadn't fully earned?
Yes, actually.
Okay. Did the story feel it expected you to already care deeply about this version? Okay. Did you separate this as good from this work from me? Let's try it again. Can you separate this as good from this worked for me?
Yes. Because I am a professional.
Does your respect it does? That's a personal question. I don't understand why I came up with that. Does your respect for the craft outweigh your personal enjoyment?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Always.
Would you defend this book even when not loving it?
Of course.
Is this a book you appreciate more as a criticism than as an experience?
Sure.
Is it fair to say your issue is accessibility and not ambition?
Yes.
And does this book reward patience more than passion?
I think so.
Okay. And then finally, is your reaction closer to measured disappointment than frustration?
No, it's definitely closer to frustration.
Okay. Wow, we did it, Mark. We really got down to the nitty gritty on this. Now, what we're about to do is we are going to go into Google, and then we will finalize our thoughts on Shredder in Hell here. So give me just 1 second.
The AI is going to be like, stop doing comic book reviews tomorrow.
All right. Do this. Is our buddy still with us?
Yeah.
Well, tell him that we appreciate.
I'll tell him. I was going to say, he can hear you. We're not on TikTok Live, not yet at least.
I forgot all about that.
I haven't done that in a while. You
haven't done that?
You know what it is? I bet on football and I want to watch my bet. I don't, so.
All right, so let me copy.
I did not watch that. I lost 2 bets today and just fucking gave up. I did not watch the game.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, it was.
What was the ones you lost on?
Patriots, Miami. They pulled Drake May out of the game to save him for the playoffs. So he hadn't thrown 2 touchdowns by that point. Like, what's a man to do? And then there was a receiver who didn't get all of his yards just at that point. They won. That was one of the things I bet on. Same thing with what the fuck did I bet on earlier? The Bucks Panthers.
Really?
Yeah, where it ended about the way I thought it was going to end, but it wasn't. It did not. It did the specific things that I bet on did not pan out.
Your parlay or whatever they say.
Yeah. Our buddy in here is not talking about like the 49ers Seahawks game where it was a boring game, but apparently the Seahawks smashed the 49ers. Which I wish the 49ers had the same game against the Seahawks that they had against the Bears. That was wild shit. And I won money off that game.
Did you?
Yeah.
That makes it a lot more interesting when you got the money.
Yeah.
Here
comes the money. Here comes
money. All right. So here are Mark and I's responses. Please analyze. I don't think it's going to really be revelatory, but let's just look. Okay. Here, the analyzation is starting, not the analyzation. Just ask Shredder.
That was in the middle of the book that I was reading. You're welcome.
Unbelievable.
Cardiovascular activity. You remember those days?
I remember those days. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, analyze the spreadsheet and the questions. Gosh, go for it.
Did it give you a recipe for duck soup?
It's like, I can't do this unless you. And I'm like, oh, do I have to do both of those things? No, I told him to explicitly do it. All right, it's reading the document. Let's just see where we both land. Oh, my gosh.
All right. So while Jesse makes magic, we will be back on February 1st, for those that care, with another source material live. So Jesse and I have a content sharing agreement where we do this live on the W2M feed, and then he cuts it up and puts it into his own podcast feed at a later date. So right now you're getting kind of like the raw feed. We're giving it to you raw. But Jesse's got a podcast that's audio only that's cut up and edited and all that other stuff. So these will be cut up into individual episodes. The next time we do a raw feed like this will be February 1st. We are looking at the entirety, I believe it's 12 issues, of the CM Punk Drax series. The trades are The Greatest Detective in the World and The Children's Crusade. And then just so we had a third Drax book, I can't remember the name of it now. Let me look. Yeah, we'll be looking at the CM Punk Drax books and then Drax the Destroyer Earthfall. That's the name of it.
Ah, okay.
So that's what we're doing in February is we're going to be looking at 3 Drax books, 2 of which were written by CM Punk.
Nice.
So if you don't know who CM Punk is, he's a professional wrestler. And he once took an MMA fight and had his ass handed to him within seconds.
Yes.
He's a much better chat fighter. He's a much better fake fighter than he is a real fighter.
Indeed. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, of all the times that ChatGPT decided that, hey, I'm not going to be able to access the spreadsheet that you gave me clear access to. I'm just going to download it and upload it here. Okay, here's the answers. In Excel, please.
While he's doing that, other things that we'll be doing this year.
I thought you guys did the whole schedule on Damn You Hollywood, didn't you?
The movie schedule, yes. So in March, we'll be doing Batman, Bruce Wayne Murderer. And then at the end of March, Batman, Bruce Wayne Fugitive. May 3rd is Incredible Hercules Volume 1. Somewhere in between May and March and May, we're also doing Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And then May 31st is Hercules Volume 2. July, we're starting World's Finest, Volumes 1 through 3, then 4 to 6. Then the Mike Straczynski run on 4. And then in October, we start Batman by Tom King. We're doing his entire run. We're going to break in November and do a trio of Christmas books. We're doing Batman Noel, which you didn't answer me, Daredevil End of Days, and Submariner.
I didn't answer you.
Yeah, I asked you if you'd ever done Batman Noel before. And
when did you ask that?
I sent it to you in chat, motherfucker.
Oh, I don't listen to you.
Clearly. You sumbitch.
Noel, continue.
Batman Noel. So if you're wondering, like, what else we've done, like, hey, you guys are pretty fun. What other comic books have you done? Well, going all the way back. How far back? Way, way back. Jesse, I can't keep stalling.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm letting you go. I thought you.
No, I was fucking stalling. Fuck up already.
I'm ready. I just wanted to make sure that you were done.
I'm good. Go.
All right, let's end this podcast by giving a 2-paragraph summary of what you and I liked versus what we didn't like. Let's see how true it is. Okay, based on our answers. So both of us landed in a similar place overall, even if we got there for slightly different reasons. We agreed that Shredder in Hell is an ambitious, well-crafted book that we admired more than we enjoyed. Would you agree?
Hang on. Pause on that. I'm going to need you to answer this man's question.
We've done a few.
Again, we've done plenty of Marvel.
Yeah, we've done.
If you're asking what we've done recently, we did the Dan Slott run on She-Hulk. We did Multiple Man, As Good as It Gets, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yep. It all makes sense in the end, or something.
Yeah, it all makes sense in the end. We've done. I mean, like, how far back do you want to go?
Marvel is actually, I think, the one that usually gets the most spotlight out of the 14 years. If you tallied up Marvel versus DC versus like Image and independent comics, Marvel usually takes the cake with how many we've done. So yeah, dude, we go back to, we do 90s comics all the time. We do, check out the Unspoken Decade on Facebook if you want. You know, that's part of like what our Unspoken Issues podcast is 90s comics, and we do a lot of Marvel 90s over there. Unspoken, if you like 90s comics, that's the place to go. But yeah, we do a lot of Marvel comics.
I'm actually going now and like looking up. Keep reading, and I'll interrupt you again.
Oh, sure. Yeah, great. So yeah, and that we both agree that it is a well-crafted book that we admired more than we enjoyed, and that it asks a lot of the reader. We both appreciated the attempt to turn Shredder into a more introspective human figure and saw the book as a genuine character study rather than a standard franchise entry. We also agree that the art is striking and effective at setting the mood. Go ahead.
So some Marvel that we've done. This is going to be kind of all over the place. Penance, The Redemption of Speedball, Civil War 2, Punisher, Circle of Blood.
That's the very first source material was Circle of Blood.
Yep. Jesse's done tons of What If. Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon. Jessica Jones, Uncaged. MODOK Head Games.
Yeah. That was
Secret
you.
Invasion.
I think you and Evan that did that or something, if
Yeah.
I remember right.
Secret Invasion. Maestro, which is the Hulk book. Punisher. Welcome back, Frank.
Oh yeah.
Was it Manucci?
Manucci got the ill communication.
Manucci got the ill communication. Cloak and Dagger. Doctor Strange, The Oath. Let's see.
Iron Fist turns into a building.
Yeah, a bunch of Iron Fist.
LGBTQ Hulk.
That would be Ant-Man, Second Chance Man. The complete X-Men, the complete onslaught.
Oh man, the onslaught. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Silver Surfer Black.
Yep, I like that one.
Venom, Lethal Protector.
Oh yeah.
Monsters Unleashed.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Daredevil, Born Again. Fantastic Four, The Trial of Galactus.
Yep, that was a request.
New Mutants, The Demon Bear Saga. Luke Cage, Sins of the Father. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Wow, Philly lost to Washington tonight. Philly is so unpredictable.
Punisher, The Platoon.
Yeah, that's decent. I think that was. I don't know if I was part of that one. Maybe. Done a lot of Punisher books. One of my favorite characters is the Punisher.
Yeah.
Las Vegas beat Kansas City.
Yeah, well, they've also lost their quarterback and shit. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 6. Spider-Verse.
So you're just going to list every Marvel comic we ever did.
I'm gonna stop in a minute. Fantastic, Fantastic Four 2018.
We've got 14 years of comics that we've covered.
I want to make sure he gets the question answered. Thor Disassembled, Vision, Avengers No Road Home.
I think his question was a yes or no question.
No, then he was like, a few isn't enough. So now I'm giving him the fire.
Oh, okay. So there's more to the chat. I see.
Infinity Gauntlet, Jessica Jones version 2, The Secrets of Maria Hill, Star-Lord.
That Star-Lord one was a good one.
Yeah. Alias.
Did a lot of Alias. We did every issue of that series.
MODOK Assassin, House of M.
House of M. Good stuff.
What
are you looking on anyway?
I'm flipping through YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We did the what do you call it? X-Men Legacy Volume 2, Evasive Exotics.
Legion?
Yeah, that was the Legion shit.
Yeah.
The Runaways. Thor, The Reigning Gods and Gods and Men.
It's raining.
Iron Fist, the Living Weapon. Spider-Man Blue.
There's Spider-Man or Iron Fist turning into a building right there.
That's the one. Yep. I'll never fucking forget that. Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan.
That was like one of the first.
Made
Spider-Man.
Made Ronnie Adams blush.
Guardian Devil. That's the Kevin Smith one.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, geez.
Ant-Man. Second Chance Man. All right. Now, and Shang-Chi. So, yes, we've done plenty of Marvel.
Did a lot. Yeah, if you are interested, there's plenty. Go check out the Source Material Comics podcast feed.
Oh, he wants to know what Spider-Man Blue is.
Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb was doing the colored books there. There's a Captain America White, I think. Jeff Loeb also did Hulk. There's a Daredevil Yellow and Spider-Man Blue. So it's for, if I'm remembering correctly, it starts out like Spider-Man's up in his attic and starts remembering some stuff that happened, I think, between him and Gwen. It's a story about him and Gwen Stacy. And Mary Jane is kind of like dealing with the fact that, he actually is still genuinely in love with Gwen Stacy. That was somebody they loved. And so it's more of a focus on their relationship. It's not really action packed. There's some action in it, but we read it because we read it. So it's interesting. Jeff Loeb's a good writer. I just covered something that he did recently too, and I cannot remember what
And
it
that's
is.
just the source material stuff. Like Jesse said, if you really want to see like a lot of Marvel, there's Unspoken Issues podcast.
Oh yeah, ton of stuff there. All right, so Mark, your job is to listen to this, not get
Yep.
distracted, and then just tell me where you think it is correct. If it's not correct,
Okay.
I'm sure it's correct. But
Get
whatever.
it, Johnny.
Here we go. We both appreciated the attempt to turn Shredder into a more introspective human figure and saw the book as a genuine character study rather than a standard franchise entry. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Would you also agree that the art is striking and effective at setting the mood, and the story is more about process than outcome, and that the book is conceptually interesting enough to defend, even if it didn't fully click as a reading experience?
Yes.
There's mutual respect for what the book is trying to do and an acknowledgement that it has value, especially as a prestige or discussion-driven comic. Okay. Where we really diverged was in how and why the book lost us. I don't know about that. We'll see. Jesse felt engaged, but held at arm's length, struggling with unclear emotional stakes, heavy abstraction, and a sense that the story relied too much on symbolism and continuity knowledge without fully grounding the reader. Mark, on the other hand, checked out more quickly due to frustration with basic clarity. He often didn't understand what Shredder was going through, what was at stake, or what had meaning beyond the surface. While Jesse wanted more character anchoring and emotional stillness, Mark wanted a more coherent linear structure and clearer cause and effect. In the end, both of us saw accessibility, not ambition, as the core issue, but Jesse experienced that as thoughtful distance, while Mark experienced it as outright frustration. That is 2 paragraphs after 104. You did it. 113 questions, Mark. You felt you got to feel good about yourself right now.
Sure.
And again, thanks for the listeners, watchers, viewers. What do they call them here on YouTube? Viewers. We
Streamers.
Yeah, we're the streamers. They're the streamies. Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. I think that's it, Mark. We have officially gone half hour past what I thought we were going to do.
Well, you
like, I'll do an hour and a half.
1,000 questions.
I told you to do the homework. You didn't do the homework, Mark. You had to do it on. You had to do it here.
Dad. No one took your porno tape. It's fine.
I've been looking for it all over.
I fucking just
it's called Shredder in Hell.
I popped my son, by the way, because he knows that joke.
He knows the reference.
Yeah, he
nice.
knows. He fucking knows the reference. He's been to our family outings.
Yes.
Like it doesn't get brought up at every fucking family dinner.
Gosh, we're done here. We have done it. It is
All right.
time. You went through a bunch of what's upcoming. If you got more stuff, let me know.
Just tomorrow. Like I've already plugged the source material stuff. Tomorrow on Damn You Hollywood, it'll be myself and Robert. We'll be talking Wake Up Dead Man. Tuesday is going to be an interesting night. My girlfriend, Miss Sleepyhead, Miss Sleepy Pie.
Sleepy Pie.
Sleepy Pie is going to host her very first podcast.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, she has been annoying me to do a Gilmore Girls podcast, and I won't do it.
Oh, I was going to say, did you cave and you're doing it? Oh,
no.
So somebody else.
No, she got one of her buddies from TikTok Live to come on the podcast with her.
Oh,
so
boy.
I will be there. I will be around to help her through it, but I will not be on the podcast.
Okay, so this is somebody she knows fairly decently online.
Yeah, it's one of her buddies from TikTok Live. So
won't fall. Okay.
Erica Poe is doing a TV party tonight for the Gilmore Girls, the entirety of that series.
Beautiful.
And she will have on some chick named Divine, who she knows from TikTok.
Very cool. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a train wreck, but it's fine. Here's 2 hours of time I already paid for. Knock yourself out. It can't be any worse than some of the other podcasts I've heard on this network. So, not hosted by me. Speaking of which, Wednesday, myself and Harry Broadhurst will be doing an Indie Ciders. We'll be looking at IWR Seasons Beatings Fest, which is we aired on Triller at the end of December, and I guess we'll talk about what's going on with Raw, et cetera, et cetera. And then Thursday, we're kicking off the new year with a new triple feature, focusing on John Hughes, motherfucker. talking about John Hughes, specifically Weird Science.
Weird.
16 Candles, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It'll be myself, Sean Comer, Kat, and if she stays awake, Erica has insinuated herself into that podcast as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's those are some good topics right there.
Yep. Next week, let's see. Jesse and I will be talking White House Plumbers, which is a mini series that was on HBO about the Watergate break-in. We'll be instead of doing Damn You Holly, we'll be doing a triple feature of Oscar contenders: Begonia, Maudie, Supreme, and Hamnet, both of which those two were on my top 10 for the year. Wednesday, Jesse, myself, and Gavin will be talking Sports Night, the first
Very
season.
cool.
And then a week from this Thursday, we're going to kick off Black History Month a little bit early because I couldn't fit this one into the Black History calendar. So we're just doing it to do it because I always do it and I go through it. With Jason Teasley, we'll be doing an on trial for the Spike Lee movie Bamboozled. Have you ever seen Bamboozled?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Damon Wayans starts a modern-day minstrel show. Hilarity ensues. It's fucking great. Bamboozled.
Oh, boy.
Top 20 movie for me.
Oh, boy.
All right, that's all I am done talking now.
Superman and the Authority tomorrow, airing on the Source Material podcast. Me and Mark Radulich get together and talk some Grant Morrison, some stuff that actually makes sense and is enjoyable.
Not nameless.
Not nameless. Yeah, that's going to be happening, I think, next month. So anyway, Superman and the Authority, though, is tomorrow, and we did enjoy what we read there with that. Previously, I mentioned last Monday, Unspoken Issues. No, this was a Source Material event. Stranger Things and TMNT. That was aired. So if you enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you enjoyed Stranger Things, I mean, my goodness, I don't know how you could avoid like spoilers for the finale on social media. We did a podcast on the 29th to celebrate, in December, our affection for Stranger Things. And then I think in about a week or so, we're going to be talking the 5th season of Stranger Things on TV Party Tonight. Me, Alexis, and possibly Chris Armstrong might join us on that one. So we have a trio. And check out the Snap Material Comics podcast. That I've mashed like 5 things together. Snap Material, where we talk Marvel Snap.
Unspoken Snap Material. What?
Me and Evan get together and talk Marvel Snap. We're supposed to record this coming Wednesday, I think, and I better put that on the calendar. I'm going to forget. And that's it. So Thanks for joining us.
Yes, everyone, thank you for joining us on Source Material Live. Check out the actual individual issues on Jesse's individual Source Material podcast feed on Spreaker or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. For Jesse Starcher, I have to pee. Be well, be safe, and behave.